What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's your boy Charlie Savidge, and today we're going to be counting down my top 100 games, numbers 30 through 21 on my top 100 games list. These are all pulled from my YouTube shorts, so please, if you haven't seen the previous entries, go check those out. And be sure to hit that like and that subscribe. 99% of my viewers aren't subscribed. Also, we're almost to 500 subs, so we're at 490, so let's just get 10 subs. Let's do this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. Digging its way into the 30th spot of the list is Mojang's 2009 release Minecraft. Now everybody knows this game. It's literally the best-selling game of all time. The game is always more capable than you ever imagined. Thanks to redstone creators like Seth Bling, it's more than just building, but with command blocks, redstone, and mods, Minecraft has become way more than people ever imagined. Hell, even for a while, a Pokemon mod took over the game and Pixelmon was just killing it. But your average adventure usually consists of gathering supplies, fighting enemies, exploring worlds and dungeons, and fighting a few bosses. It's an epic adventure and sandbox for you to play with your friends in. Minecraft is totally worth your time. Triple jumping its way onto the list is the essential Nintendo 64 title, Super Mario 64. Initially released in 1996, Super Mario 64 was the first mainstream and important 3D platformer that came onto the market. Launching a whole new era of tech due to 64-bit processors, games were much more advanced than they ever had been before. And I'm honestly shocked that this game holds up as well as it does. They implemented so much good game design for a first outing that it's impressive. Sure, they worked in 2D before, but not only making such a good 3D platformer, but one of the best ones of all time is certainly an impressive feat. Especially when it's all new tech. But everything about this game is iconic and it certainly holds up. This game is a must-play for anyone who plays games. It may be a bit weird given the N64 controller, but I promise you that the game is worth your time. You can play it on the Switch and multiple other platforms. Masking its way onto the list at the 28th spot is the classic Nintendo 64 title, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. While it is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time that uses the same engine and a lot of the same models, it's truly an interesting game. This game may seem weird, hell, some would even say outright lazy at a first glance. But it adds to this weird, unsettling charm that the game already had, which is just entirely weird and unsettling. People always talk about how dark this game is, and rightly so. But more than anything, I just love how different it is than Ocarina of Time. I love the 3D mechanic, even if it can be frustrating. I love the mask mechanic, how some are entire transformations into different creatures, and some are just weird masks that accomplish certain things, like make you dance or let you in a bar. Overall, this game is such a great and fantastic experience that has such an overall melancholic tone, and there isn't anything quite like it to this day. So, for that alone, it deserves a spot on the list. Climbing its way onto the list at the 27th spot is Sucker Punch's 2009 release, Infamous, the very first title in the series. The game follows Cole McGrath, an ordinary courier in Empire City, which is basically New York. One day he's given a package that would change his life forever. He has to deliver the ray sphere, unbeknownst to him that it would create a blast to give him superpowers but kill hundreds near him, leading the city into a state in complete and utter disrepair. Now it's up to Cole to choose whether he'll take advantage of these people or become their savior. The gameplay consists of some fantastic platforming, flying, and lots of climbing and running. It's a third-person shooter, but it's electric superpowers instead of weapons. The stories are incredible and the cutscenes are fantastically well done in comic book style. Infamous 2 may be better, but I can't recommend this game enough. Shooting its way onto the list of the 26th spot is Insomniac Games' 2005 release, Ratchet Deadlocked, the fourth Ratchet & Clank game and most certainly the black sheep of the franchise. Yet, it still holds an incredibly special place in my heart. I remember not even knowing it existed until I got it for Christmas. The game focuses much more on the shooting and combat than it does the platforming of its traditional counterparts. Its big fault is the amount of vehicle missions that, honestly, I liked at the time, but looking back now, they're a bit much and they feel shoehorned in. That being said, this game has some of my favorite characters, some of the series' darkest moments, and honestly, them being able to parody Fox News as Fox is just fantastic. Please play this game. It's the best co-op game I've ever played, and it's certainly a fun experience even in single player. Beating its way on the list at the 25th spot is Sony Santa Monica's 2018 title God of War. This game is a masterpiece. It's such a fantastic game with such a high level of quality, I can't help but put it this high on the list. And I still may be underrating it. The visuals are fantastic, I love the cinematography. The game is entirely one moving shot the whole time. No cuts. It feels so natural and it adds a layer to the game. The combat is somewhat slow but feels grounded and brutal. You're seeing and feeling the games through the pounding fists of gods and monsters. It's truly incredible. If you haven't played the game, I strongly recommend it. I wasn't even interested in it, but What it did was take me through a wonderful and fantastic tale of Kratos and Atreus' story. There's a lot going on, and Kratos is a changed man, and that was the most interesting thing about the whole game. But if you haven't done so, play it now, do yourself a favor. It's probably the best game of the PS4, Xbox One generation. Slicing its way onto the list at the 24th spot is Sucker Punch's 2019 release, Ghost of Tsushima. I know it's blasphemy to put it ahead of God of War, but I love both of these games, but Ghost of Tsushima is just totally way more up my alley. I like samurai ninjas way more than Greek or Norse mythology. I love open world games. I prefer Tsushima's combat and the design of Tsushima way more. Even if it's an island halfway between Korea and mainland Japan, the colors pop in a naturally beautiful way that is truly fantastic. The game was such a blast at every single moment, and it was just challenging enough, and I just had such a good time binging to get 100% on Ghost of Tsushima. I also think taking a Rise of Modern Asia class gave me more historical context for this fictional retelling that made it just click way more for me. Once again, I recommend this game to everyone. It's absolutely stellar, and I had so much blissful joy while playing it. Jumping its way on the list at the 23rd spot is Nintendo's Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey is a return to form for the franchise, as it marks the first time that a Mario game has been truly open world since Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. What really sets Odyssey apart is Cappy. Cappy is Mario's new sidekick, as his cause aligns perfectly with Mario's. Both of their girlfriends have been kidnapped by Bowser, so yeah, the story doesn't change much at all. I also love how different all the levels are. There's deserts, cities, beaches, Asia. It's truly wonderful. If you haven't gotten the chance, please take some time to play it, as it is one of the best 3D platformers out there, and you definitely won't regret it. Forcing its way on the list at the 22nd spot is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This game took me by surprise because it is the best Star Wars game I've ever played. I suppose the writing should have just been on the wall with Cameron Monaghan as the lead role, and it being a post-Order 66 game, but I just honestly didn't expect it to be so good. It single-handedly encapsulates everything that I love about Star Wars. Gameplay was the first surprise for me, as it plays a bit more like a Souls game, but I've quite frankly never played one, but goddamn did I enjoy it. It did a great job balancing the game's mechanics and the design with Force abilities, and how the narrative focuses on Cal's spiritual connection to the Force to progress rather than only just skill points. But there are of course skill points and an RPG system. But more than anything, I love the story. It's a planet-hopping Star Wars adventure where the protagonist deals with his trauma and has to work against the Empire, and there's tons of fun little secrets and new things to learn. I'd be an idiot not to love this game, as I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But seriously, it's so good that even if you don't like Star Wars, you'll probably love it. Web-slinging its way onto the list at the 21 spot is Insomniac Games' 2018 smash hit, Spider-Man. This is without a doubt the best Spider-Man game out there, and Miles Morales is up there as well. The game's storyline is fantastic, and I love the relationship between Peter Parker and Doc Ock. Additionally, it's great to see stellar performances from the cast, with the likes of characters like Miles Morales, Aunt May, and Mary Jane. I also appreciate the use of lesser-known Spider-Man villains like Mr. Negative, while still having a lot of the staples like Rhino, Scorpion, and Electro all around. Spider-Man's gameplay consists of a fantastic combat system that perfectly pairs Spider-Man's agility and web-slinging abilities into what I would consider some of my favorite gameplay ever. All of this in addition to swinging around a beautifully rendered version of New York City, and you have yourself a tremendously fun time. What else I really like about this game is that it places really high stakes on Peter Parker and how he's going to handle all of this that's happening. And it's really just a fantastic game that you should totally play.